Hello amigos, would you believe me if I were to tell you that I made this in just a month in Blender? Well, you would be wrong because I did it in just 11 days.
Yeah, dude, I can tell.
Oh, well, I thought it came out pretty good. Hello amigos, how has everyone been doing on this lovely December? For me, personally, it's been boring, you know? Yeah, I learned a lot from school, like primary keys and pixel shaders. Well, no, I didn't really learn about pixel shaders. But anyways, you know what I've been really craving to learn? That sweet 3D art. Listen, I've been wanting to get into 3D art, but I don't really want to make these humanoid-like characters. Like, look, this is something that I made on my fourth semester at school. It looks good, but like, I wasn't satisfied, you know? What's the point of having a 3D software where you can literally make anything just to make a generic human? So I decided to make a new end card for my scenes, but the new twist is that it's going to be in a 3D environment instead, and I'm doing it all in the one and only Blender. But Doveto, what is Blender? Is it a new Nintendo game? When was it revealed? Blender is a 3D software that lets you do unimaginable stuff like this. Look at how amazing this looks, and get this, it's free. Yep, the only limit is your imagination when it comes to Blender. And well, your computer, but like, you knew that, right? So I decided to set myself 3 things that I wanted to learn with Blender, or at least the basic of those 3 things. Modeling in Blender, which I already know how to model, so it's not going to be that big of a problem. Rigging in Blender, which is just adding a skeleton to your models, and a basic animation for my end card. How is that possible in just 11 days? Well, why don't we just jump right into day 1. Don't worry, I'm not gonna do that for every single day. So day 1, I tried instantly getting into character modeling, but when I realized that I didn't know anything, and I mean anything about Blender, I decided to scrap that idea and instead make one single piece of furniture for my room. And okay, look, I know that I've just said I didn't know anything about Blender, but I already kind of tried this program. Look, I did a donut tutorial, alright? Sort of. I mean, I only got to like the 7th video, but it's something, right? Once I got familiar with the buttons and the edit and object mode, I decided it was good enough with the donut and started doing furniture. Since I don't think I'm going to be using the sculpt mode or the hair nodes right now for my scene in my hand, I don't really need all of these tutorials to make my simple scene. So day 1 was really chill, getting to know a bit more about Blender and how the shortcuts can really save your life. And boom, at the end of the day, I made my first ever render with Blender. I know it looks like straight garbage, but hey, for someone who just started Blender, I think it looks alright. I'm saying that because I'm the one that made it. After day 1, I was so pumped. Like, I knew some shortcuts and I was getting really familiar with the program. I cannot wait for day 2. Day 2 was a complete mess. For day 2, I wanted to do another piece of furniture, which was my desk, but oh boy, was this part really hard. If you don't know, my desk is L-shaped with a curvature where the union happens, so modeling that in Blender should be easier, right? Just add 2 pieces of planes and bridge them together, then add cuts to make the curve. Oh, that isn't supposed to happen. But alright, after, I don't know, like an hour or 2, I don't know how I managed to do it, but I fixed it. The rest of the model was honestly pretty chill. Add a solidify modifier, which in simple terms, it just adds that thickness to your plane. Then do the parts from below and voila, you have yourself a pretty nice desk in my opinion. Day 3. So after conquering one of my biggest problems with Blender, which was figuring out that option, I guess, I decided that I was ready to do at least the base of my character. But I didn't just went mind blank onto this adventure called character modeling. Oh no. I really gotta shout out one of the biggest saviors of my life on this Blender adventure. One of my Blender dads, I would like to present to you Daniel Kruter. I was so bummed out seeing all of the tutorials not having what I necessarily wanted, but this guy had exactly what I was looking for. He has an entire series with 43 videos, each one being 20 or 30 minutes long, about making this beauty of a character. all of that for free. Honestly, if you want to get into character modeling, this is your safest bet. And don't worry, you don't have to get through every single one of the videos to make your final result. That's just my advice because I'm impatient and honestly, I didn't want to go that far with my character. But this guy takes you through every step a professional should do when it comes to character modeling. Daniel Kruter, if you're watching this, I love you so much and what do you think of my model? And okay, if you don't want to watch his 43 long videos to understand what I did here, that's fine. I'll give you a recap with my style, I guess. Do you have a cube? Great! Add a subdivision modifier, then add as many subdivisions as you want. Model the head so it matches your references, and then grab these 4 faces to make the neck. Again, play with it until it matches the reference. Add another cube with a subdivision modifier to get the body shape. Extrude part of the arms and also whenever you can and feel ready, join the 2 pieces of body you have by joining the neck with the torso. For my style of shoes, I want you to guess what I'm going to do. That's right, a cube with a subdivision modifier. So now that you have balls as foot and the torso, get a circle with vertex and then extrude it so that it fits your legs. You following me? Good, because I don't even know what I'm saying. Most of the character modeling consisted of cubes with subdivision modifiers and extruded them till you get this as a final result. Nothing necessarily was out of the ordinary. I didn't need to use sculpt mode or shading or things like that. It was more so the same thing till you got it right. And of course there's always problems that I somehow fix, like the weird shading it got when joining the hand with the arm. I don't know in what way does an 180 degrees affect the hand, but it somehow worked, I guess. And boom, we have now created ourselves Adobetto. Everyone say hi, please be nice, he has just been born into this world. Alright, how long did that took? Damn, 2 days? And we are not even done, because sure, it looks amazing, but what about the color? Or do I really just look like this and I've been fooling myself for years? So now comes one of the steps that I truly didn't want to do. And if you enjoy this part of modeling, please get away from me. UV unwrapping! I'm sorry, yay! UV unwrapping is basically origami with your 3D model to see where the colors are going to be. Because you can't simply just paint on the model with a brush, just like real life, right? Right? Anyways, UV unwrapping is super helpful if you want to have specific colors for specific parts, just like my character having many parts with different colors. So turning a 3D model into coordinates on a 2D plane can be a pretty lengthy process on itself, but here's where another Blender dad came to my life to save me. Blender Guru. Honestly, I should have mentioned this guy from the very beginning because he is the donut guy, but he is not only that. He is an amazing, talented, and charismatic YouTuber that makes so many videos about Blender. I actually took many of his advice from the Family Guy recreation video. Honestly, he is an amazing person, and even better that all of his advice is free on YouTube. Like, how is that possible? I should be paying this guy for all of the things he has helped me with. Blender Guru taught me in a very simple way to do UV unwrapping, and well, I'm familiar with what UV unwrapping is. I just needed the 3 simple tools you need to do this task, which are cut, unwrap, and align. That's basically all you need when it comes to UV unwrapping. So after a full hour or more of doing the UV unwrapping, I'm tired of saying that word, and coloring my character, this is the final result. This looks amazing. Honestly, for my first time character modeling in Blender, this didn't turn out so badly. But guess what? We aren't done with my character. Alright. We'll take a little break and do some modeling of more stuff in my room. I gotta say, I'm impressed how well the shelves for my panels turned out. I know they are just simple cubes, but it looks so well put together. And don't worry, these aren't going to stand perfectly on the wall. We will change the rotation on some of these ones so that it doesn't look perfect. Did you enjoy the break? Because we are back, baby! Alright, so you might say, hey, you know, this looks pretty finished. No. As you can see, the hair is looking good, alright? But it's not optimized. It's just a bunch of figures put together, which, okay, it looks good on this specific scene, but I want to pose this model, and that is going to cause a lot of stress onto my graphic card. And you know what? I love my graphics card, okay? I mean, just look at how many vertex it has for the bare minimum effect it does to the hair. So after struggling with Blender about how can I make hair like nobody has done hair before, I finally stuck with this low poly hair for my character. And I gotta say that I'm proud of myself, you know? I'm giving a pat on the back because this was all me. I didn't follow any tutorials. Can you tell? So modeling is done. and texturing is done as well. Now we need our character to do something. It doesn't just stand there. Well, we could have him like that, you know. Alright guys, that's gonna do it for this video. So after struggling for like 30 minutes or something, I decided let's worry about the posting on a later day and start finishing my room, for crying out loud. So day 7 through 9 was, day 7 through 9. Day 7 through 9 was modeling the things that were missing from my room. I'm talking about my chair and my PC and the bed, which honestly I think it looks amazing and it didn't use any real life simulation. I tried though. Also, I decided to do the texturing on my room since I was getting tired of watching the same color in every single thing, and this honestly was my favorite part till this point. Watching my scene get in life with the colors was so rewarding because it was turning out exactly how I imagined it. The vinyls, the bed, and the chair looked so good. After texturing pretty much every single thing in my room and putting my character on it, I can say that this is my favorite part when it comes to my Blender process. But remember, he's just standing there. How do we make him move? With that amazing transition, here comes one of the hardest things and something I didn't know how to do till that point. Rigging. Day 10. I don't know what they were doing when naming these things, but rigging is just adding a skeleton to your model so that it moves. Ooh, animation. But why is it so hard, you may ask? If it's just adding bone after bone after bone and, well, you get the idea. Well, because you want to have a good topology on your character so that the mesh doesn't stretch or pinch when moving the rig. Huh? Alright. Let me put it in simpler terms. Do you know this meme of Pikachu doing the default emote of Fortnite? Yeah, haha, it looks funny because it stretches Pikachu the way it's not intended to do. Well, that funny effect happens because the mesh, which is Pikachu, doesn't fit the rig of the default emote. Not to blame the computer is doing its job, it's joining the rig, which is the default emote, to Pikachu, which is the mesh. It's us that we are creating a funny meme, but in reality it's just deforming Pikachu. Pikachu must have suffered a lot when doing that emote. Moving along from my existential crisis about Pikachu doing the Fortnite emote, something like this can happen to your model if you don't have the right topology. If you don't have enough edges for your arm to bend, or for your head to turn, or for your foot to rotate, for your fingers to move. Although I didn't do any hand animations, but you should. But here's the thing. Another person has earned the rights to call themselves a Blender Dad, and his name is Joey Carlino. With his video title, Rigging for Impatient People, totally me, I was able to understand how to connect the bones to my model and figure out how to really move him without destroying my Dovetto. So thankfully I didn't have that much of a problem with the rig of my character. Sure, you can see that it bends really weird, but that's not always a topology problem. It's more of the power this bone does connected to the mesh. So sometimes the problem is the topology, and other times is how much the bone affects the model. And look at that! Dovetto can move, sort of. Yeah, this didn't turn out the best. Joey Carlino saved my life, okay? But I've already made up my mind that I need to make a second version of my character. Sure, this one will always be in my heart because it's the first one and all that, but I know it doesn't have the greatest topology ever, and some of the parts bent really weird when I was posing him. Maybe I won't do all over again and just do retopology, but who knows? It's a problem for future me. Anyways, moving objects. Yes, I love animation. After playing around with the posing of my character, I finally landed on the scene that I truly love. Just look at that. And after adjusting the face so that it seems like he's smiling, not professional, should have done face rigging. The scene is finally done. Now what? Day 11. Well, since I want this to become a video instead of a still picture like the old end card, I added a plane that flies around, the lights of the PC, and the keyboard going all rainbow. Some lights at the back of my scene to simulate cars driving by or just street lamps falling, I don't know. And to top it all off, my arm moves! The first ever animation on this channel was done in Blender. Wow! Can you imagine saying that to a younger version of yourself? Hey dude, just wanted to tell you that you made an animation on Blender when you're my age, so just keep it up, man. Okay. After 11 days of opening Blender, learning shortcuts, doing furniture, fighting my inner demons about the shading on the hand, doing light work on my scene, and most importantly of it all, making sure that it looks good, the final result is this. Would you look at that? It really looks amazing for only a person that had 11 days of work. Okay, on a serious note, could I have done worse? Sure. Could I have done better? Also sure. Some colors look really plain and other things look way too perfect, which is a bad practice in animation. But for a simple project like an end card, I think it does the job perfectly to win the Dubitoons video. I don't know if any person at the end of my videos is going to be all judgy and say, "Aha! This texture is wrong. You should totally quit YouTube." There's a first time for everything, I guess. But for Blender, I just gotta say that I love this software. And if you're afraid of learning Blender, then don't. Or what, are you scared? Honestly, Blender might look really frightening at first glance with the many things it has, but I can assure you that I didn't touch 90% of the things Blender offers, and I still managed to do something like this. So if you think that this came out good and want to do something similar, I can tell you that working with Blender was smooth as butter. Like a criminal undercover. And I really gotta say, I couldn't have done it without the videos of my Blender dads. So thank you so much Blender Guru, Joey Carlino, and Daniel Kruter for making these amazing tutorials and videos for free. And if you're still watching this, let me just say thank you for watching till the end of the video. I hope this video inspired you to get onto Blender and learn some 3D modeling, because if I made this in just 10 days, the possibilities are endless. What a nice video I've just made. Wait, let me check. Oh god damn it, I forgot my Jaden plushie.